We have a Zealot run going on, so let's finish that one. And then we're probably gonna take a look at another class. I'm thinking the Necromancer might be something I want to discover. So yeah, let's see. Let's quickly refresh our memory on what this Zealot run is all about. So, let's take a look. We are playing as the Zealot. We have finished 2 boss fights so far, if I remember things correctly. I don't think we took the weird hearts. No, we went with the passive skills. Our ultimate destroying elemental arrows. We got the energy shot, that's the one that gives us barrier. We have a few passives that increase damage of our next hit every turn. When we don't do hit damage, we get damage to our next hit. When we have unused barrier, we gain 25% for every turn. Just a lot of damage scaling at the start of each turn. Increase your damage at the start of combat, gain in energy. And we gain a barrier by discarding arrows and spirit arrows as well. We have a couple of items. Nothing too exciting here. Alright, we got the Bjork runestone that gives us 1 energy every 3 turns. Weapon damage. Heal after every fight and start with some armor. Seems like a good set. The healing seems quite useful. Let's take a look at our decks. We have a couple shots. We have the splitting shot for AoE, the muscle rupturing shot to take out big targets, acid shot to weaken enemies so we can reduce their armor to make it easier to finish them off. We have standoff as a defensive card mostly. We still have some an arrow bag in the deck. We have our fiends, unbreakable fiends, and we have other defensive cards like Master of Fiends, Fast Movement, Pebble Throw is pretty nice, Domination is good, and the Somersaults to draw cards. Alright, and the Gluttonous Beast, drawing and reducing cost. We also still have an All-Mother's Blessing with full charges. So we are mostly defensive. Our playstyle is do not take damage, build up your damage over time, and then... Do we have a rest left? We don't. Build up damage over time and then one-shot the enemy either with the big muscle rupturing shot or elemental arrow for single targets, or with the split arrow in multi-target fights. I think this is pretty powerful. How many? We only have 1 weird candle. It's not something we can buy either, but maybe we can buy a blood candle or something. No. That is not possible. Yeah, do we have a blood candle? Perhaps we do. So that is something we can use. Costs us 10% of our max HP, that is 6. That is a third of our current HP right now. So let's hope we can do some things without using too much light. This is the Treasure Guardian, there is the boss. A couple fights over there. We have 2 very close together on the right side, and there is a milestone on that side as well. I can't seem to see a second milestone. Yeah. Let's move over to that milestone. I think it's very unlikely that we boost this one, right? Boosting this one would only give us access to this roaming warband right ahead. I think we're better off just taking the candle. Oh, we have a blood altar there. Do we have healing potions? We have a bunch of them actually. And a little bit of meat. So we can heal up pretty decently. Do we wanna... no, I don't think we want to switch out any of our glyphs or runes right now, so let's enter this fight. We have 2 stalkers. They become tougher when they have less than 50% of their HP, and they can reduce our armor and spawn useless cards. In our deck we have the soul blades. They will do more hits when we hit them, and an abomination, which is slightly annoying because it does hit the soul blade. Hi Olivan, welcome. What do we have here? Draw 1 more, increase its cost, reduce the armor of all enemies by 25 for this turn. Nobody really has any armor. I think we can go for armor reduction on one of the stalkers this turn maybe. But first of all, we need to make sure we are protected. Incoming is about 20, 40, 47, like about 50 to 55 damage. We have 22 armor, so each of these will be 33. That's a pretty easy defense already. Let's see what we draw with the somersault. Okay, that's gonna be huge. 84. We can stun you, I guess. Reduce your armor. And yeah, let's just build up a barrier, because that gets converted into damage, and then we can probably finish the fight in maybe 2 turns. I'm gonna play this. I don't want to draw extra cards and get their cost increased, most importantly. No, this character doesn't have block cards. This character uses barrier instead. And armor. So yeah, I have finished the 2 runs successfully. One with the Weird Hunter against the normal boss, and then one with the Summoner against the final boss. And now I'm in a Zealot run. They are all about armor and building up damage over time. You can see we already have 800% damage. So we're not that far off of just one-shotting the entire enemy team with a splitting shot. And in fact, I think I might just use the domination and splitting shot this turn. Take out the soul blade and the abomination. That leaves us with only 2 enemies. Let's go for that. Splitting shot is 124 to 212. Let's boost that one final time before we go for it. Enemies have reduced armor. Yeah, there we go. Can we take you out? With an elemental arrow we can, and I think we should. Water shot, that reduces damage. Doesn't really matter too much for us. I might as well throw out the shot too. So all our unused barrier gets converted into extra damage. Let's do the triple somersault. Play the Fiends for some barrier, and then Ambition. Gain 25 armor and damage for 2 turns. Wrong order there, but doesn't really matter. Build up some more damage. I'm gonna play the fast movement. And then we should be able to finish with muscle rupturing. There we go. So yeah, this character is all about just building up barrier. Well, this deck we have is all about just building up barrier, let it convert into damage, and then just one-shotting the enemies. Tails, I'm not sure I like this. It only lasts for a turn. I don't think it's really worth it. Fiend, probably not that exciting either, and I don't think I want the bottomless back. Blood is a permanent upgrade. Currency, you can use it at the seamstress to increase your base stats. At the start of each turn with full ultimate gain 100% damage for the next hit. That is pretty good. Relaxed body, increase your max health by 40. That is also really good. I think I might just take the relaxed body. I'm more concerned about our defense in general. I think our offense is already quite strong. Yeah, you get some blood after every fight. Let's go for the blood altar.
Crystals were already here when the first men landed on the
We still have to do more sacrifices for the protector apparently.
power in this place. A power that you've made the third sacrifice, and there should be enough for the protector to remain happy for a while. It's time to tell the seamstress that you've done with this request.
Nice. Okay, we are pretty low on health. We can probably fight these enemies without using another weir candle and fight the other ones behind them right afterwards. No, the 20% extra damage is not multiplicative. It's just added to your damage. It doesn't work like that. All these things that increase your damage by any percentage is just added to your damage percentage number. Let's see. We have 2 Reavers. They deal more hits each turn unless they are stunned. We do have a stun, and I think we should throw one out right away. Let's go for the triple somersault to draw. Decrease damage of all enemies by 50%, sure. Gain 30 armor. Draw a maneuver. Advanced fiends. That's gonna bring us up to over 70 armor. To go with domination. No, I'm gonna go with unbreakable fiends. It's a lot of barrier this turn. 180% and 180, that's gonna convert into 360% damage for the next hit. Splitting shot is not quite enough yet, especially considering these enemies have quite high armor values, so we need a bit more power gain here. Let's do a standoff. I could just one-shot one of them with their muscle rupturing. Draw 2 cards less next turn. This will kill the healer, but wouldn't kill the Reaver. Yeah, let's take this Reaver out. That makes things easier to handle. And let's play the arrow bag. I'm gonna hit you with an acid shot to reduce your armor. And then I think I just infinite training and end the turn. Yeah. So our next card gets doubled. It should probably be the Master at Fiend. Sure, let's go for Elemental Arrow. Take this one enemy out, and then we should have enough damage for the remaining one. We don't have to build our damage over multiple turns. We can oftentimes just like do one shot a turn and then build up the next one. That's good enough. Finishing touches is pretty bad. Desperate Act. Discard all maneuvers, deal 1 hit for 0% damage. Damage increase, no. And draw 2 arrow cards, gain 25. No. No, these are all pretty bad for our current playstyle. One day I need to try out this do many hits type of archer. Oh, that's the elderly archer again.
Archer sitting near a small fire. He tends the flames with care and tenderness.
Oh, a visitor. I haven't seen a friendly human face for
Oh, we
a long
haven't
time.
met you yet.
It's getting lonely out here.
With a gesture, he invites you to sit with him.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Who are you?
The question shouldn't be who I am, my friend. The question should be who I was. Because right now, I'd say I'm pretty much nobody.
What do you do
Not
here?
much. I tend to the fire and watch over this place. Since I failed to fulfill my task, I need to sit here and watch the fire. I don't want to, but I have to. I'm certain something terrible will happen if I stop.
You failed to fulfill your task?
Well, that's definitely a story for another time. But I do appreciate you asking.
Let's sit by the
As you
fire.
sit by the archer, you notice that this fire doesn't behave like a regular fire. It has the power to push weirdness away, just like a menhir or a weird candle. Moreover, you suddenly notice that the man's legs are rooted into the ground with blue veins. The veins stretch from his feet into the fire pit. You form a question in your mind, but when you look into the man's eyes, you realize there's no point in asking it. His gaze is absent, and his movements are barely noticeable. You decide to leave it for another time, and turn your eyes towards the fire. The flames flicker with a weird, magical rhythm.
I can wish to forget. Lose 10 HP to remove a card. I can wish for experience, lose 10 HP to gain a level. Or I can wish for a new skill, lose 10 HP to gain a random legendary card. I think I wanna wish to forget. There are a few cards in my deck that I don't really want. These shots are some of them, the arrow bags is another. Yeah, the normal shots are pretty useless, I think, at this point. Sometimes they can be good to take out weaker targets, but now that we have a split shot, that is not as important anymore. Yeah, I think no, actually I think I removed the arrow back first. That's probably the better choice. We still have a little bit of light, so let's go into this fight before it extinguishes. Weird Bear cycles between offensive and defensive. Juggernauts, if all hits miss, it will deal twice the hits next turn. And Rabbit Rat. These are all pretty high damage enemies. Luckily we have a really good defensive core. Draw 2 cards less next turn. I would like to avoid that. We have a lot of energy actually. Gain 30 armor for a bunch of turns. Charge I think is good here. Discard both arrows for 100% damage on the next hit. I'm also gonna use the domination, reuse their stats, and then finally play the Tainted Force. That was quite a good defense right there. Uh-oh. We have Pebble Throw and Exhaustive Preparation, so we can stun 2 enemies. And I guess we can just kill the final one with a Muscle Rupturing. Stun you. Smoke Shot. And then play the Preparation and keep the effect for next turn. No barrier this turn, but we don't need any. It's time for an elemental arrow to finish the rat. Although, that is very likely to finish the big target even. And the rat is no longer very dangerous at all. we go. Another level up. Bombardment with the multi-shot, no. Cover shot is interesting, deal 1 hit for 100% damage, gain 50 barrier. But we don't really want to deal small hits if we can avoid it. Draw 2 arrows and gain 30 armor for 3 turns. No. I think this is another skip. Every 6th hit deals 100% more damage. We don't hit often. Every 12th hit in combat stuns the enemy. We still don't hit often. After killing an enemy, gain 100% more damage for the next hit. That's more likely. We often kill an enemy with a single shot, so that can be quite a good way to get our damage back.
As you approach the tree, it seems to shift and move. You draw closer, and suddenly you realize why the tree appears to be moving. Dozens of rotting bodies dangle and sway in the breeze. It looks like a strange dance with their necks nodding along in their nooses.
Let's loot it.
You climb the tree and manage to sever one of the ropes. A corpse falls to the ground with an unpleasant squelch. Braving the search, you find something interesting in one of his pockets.
Okay. A warning law. Generates 20 barrier. That's actually quite useful. I think that might be more useful than the oil. Okay, it's time to stalk in the dark, or rather in the weird. A bear. Yeah, fine. Who are you with? That's a lot of large enemies. Cyclops. Every turn this enemy will increase its damage. Stuns will reset the bonus. Corrupt a giant. Then every turn will increase its damage. Lose a bit of armor. Oh, that's a Juggernaut actually. And the Face Shifter. Oh, that's a pretty scary team. Let's get our armor up. Lose 25% of your current HP. I want to avoid that if at all possible. Yeah, I'm fine with creating some armor on the enemies. Distraction, half the damage of all enemies. I think we're better served by using Fiends. Doubling up our barrier. And gaining some armor as well. Okay, we have negative armor right now. Decreased by 25 for 2 turns. Who is reducing my armor? Nobody right now, apparently. Let's go for a domination. And I guess we have to use the Allmother's Blessing here to be protected. Keep building up damage. Fast movement, so we have some armor. Triple somersault is nice. Triple somersault into double somersault. Nice, nice. This is good. How much is a splitting shot right now? Not quite enough. I want to draw through my deck one more time. Duplicate the next card. Next hit deals plus 200%. Now we could have stunned someone, and probably should have stunned the Cyclops. So they would stop building their damage up like crazy. Standoff, finding a smoke shot. You're hitting for 8 times, that's pretty rude. Oh, actually we should have played a splitting shot here. Whoops. Yeah, now you survive because of your armor. We did get a kill, so we gain the damage bonus. You know what? Can we finish you? We certainly can. That gives us another 100% damage bonus. Air shot. Well. Ten times 22 to 29. Uh-oh. We don't have a lot of armor this turn either. Well. Time to use the other charge of Allmother's Blessing. Uh-oh. That's actually... Yeah, that was a... I should have paid more attention. That was a lot of damage. I should definitely have focused that target down. I forgot that they were gonna grow like crazy. Yeah, doubling the hits is pretty brutal. I don't know why they had so large hits though. Mess that up. Hope, duplicate the next card played. That's pretty bad for 2 energy. Hope the other side is good. Doom, draw 2 cards, their energy cost is reduced to 0. That is quite good. Quick dodge, gain barrier equal to 200% of your current armor. Dodge, gain barrier equal to 100% of your current armor now and at the start of the next turn. That would have been very nice. And rain multi-shot random enemies for plus 50%. Oops! Clicked it away before I could read the other side. Ending a turn without dealing any hits, grant you 25 barrier next turn. Very good. Calm advantage. Every 6th maneuver played in one combat reduces the energy cost of the next maneuver by 1. Also not bad. It's actually pretty good. We unlock the Necromancer. Splitting shot, we already saw that. We saw the unstable mixture in that run. And the fate breaking shot. Deal 1 hit for 100% damage. Reduce the energy cost of 1 card in hand by 1. Huh? That doesn't sound too good. That sounds pretty bad actually. But maybe there's some use to it. Resilience. Every ninth maneuver played in combat increases your armor by 30 for 3 turns. That's pretty solid. Each discarded arrow grants you plus 2 armor for 2 turns. Also nice. And we unlock the Apostate, which is the final class we have yet to unlock. So we have now unlocked all the classes. Yeah, I was careless there. I could have won this fight for sure if I played it a bit better.